Yeah, but I just there's like a whole thing where it's just like people like learning other people's music and just going out. Well, we'll never Guns N' Roses will never come to Hopewell, Virginia, but Paradise City will come here. And I was like,
I mean,
okay,
that was one of those things that I almost did because it was
yeah.
like, because I didn't want to have a real job and I just music. But then I actually did do it sort of, but
What were you going to be a
it didn't
cover band of?
last. We were in a Talking Heads cover band,
Okay.
and I played the keyboards. I played keyboards and a little guitar. I was like the Jerry Harrison of that band. I mean, but like we didn't dress like them or anything. We weren't like that. We didn't go that level. We weren't like, I guess that's a tribute band. What's the difference? There's a cover band and there's a tribute band. I don't know, but like we were called This Is Not My Beautiful Band.
Oh, okay.
And like, yeah, very clever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's real
because you
good.
got to do that. You got to do that. Like there
Yeah,
was one,
you
I
gotta
had
have
an idea. You go on.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta have a song.
You got
The
to
name
be
of the
clever
band just
about
is right from one of the songs. Yeah,
or something, or a funny play on one of them. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I had the one that was gonna, I never got it going, but they were gonna do the Radiohead one. That
yeah.
was just Kid USA, like the American Patriot Radiohead,
Yeah. Oh my God.
Christian flag sucking Radiohead.
Ladies, gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, starring Lilith Electra Zarling, Amanda Bonanza, and esteemed Republican Senator from the great state of Texas, your host, Ted Theodore Cruz.
Yeah.
Like I have to go to this wedding. Okay, I had to buy a bridesmaid's dress, which so my plan for that is so like fucking spending money on a bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll get it from Amazon and I'll fucking return it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like that's
You.
how we're gonna do. So I did, and I went to this and I found one that I thought was really pretty and not too expensive, like $50. And like it's like, okay, I'll get two. I was like, use one in my normal size, which is XL, and then like another in like just a 2X just in case.
Just in
And
case.
I got them yesterday. They came in last night, and I tried the on the 1X, and it was just like I can't believe I kept going trying to get it on, but I did. And then I was like, this I can't get this off. This is too solid. Like it doesn't even fit over my boobs. This is ridiculous. Like this is not a 1X. And I was like, well, fuck. I finally struggled with it for like 5, 6 minutes, got it off. Then I went and like had to get like tried the 2X and like same thing, just like it's a little
Yeah.
better, but like not even close. So now I have to send them both back,
Oh,
but they had it in 3 and 4X. So I'm gonna try three
go
and
for it.
four X. Like, but like it's like, and you know me, I don't care what the tag says. I care that
Yeah.
it looks good. And if it says like this is for big ugly fat trans women only, then like that's what I'll wear, and like I don't care, like and that's fine. Like it's like I was like, for people that eat too much candy and don't exercise,
Thank you.
that's
That reminds me of a good
that's who
story. You're
I
gonna
am.
enjoy this. You're gonna enjoy this. So in
Why?
2018, I had a friend a trans friend who was moving to LA, and I might have told you this. I was like, hey,
Yeah,
I'll
you told me
drive
that
you.
you
Yeah,
went with them.
yeah. So we stopped in Albuquerque on the way there, and they were tired. They were just gonna sleep, and I was like, I'm gonna go get some tacos for lunch and just see what's out there. And I found this kind of gothy kind of place that had some cool dresses, and there was one that, like, according to the tag, I'm like, this should fit me. And so I go into the dressing room. It's just me. I'm the only one in there, and the lady who works there. And I get it on. It's got like a neck thing, and then like straps. And
Uh-huh.
there's no way I can get my shoulders in, but I've got it in my head, and I am panicking because I cannot get this dress off my head. I'm the only one in there, and I've been in there for so long, and it's just me and the lady, and I'm like,
Oh no, I know it's
and
the
I
worst.
finally weaseled my head out and just came out. It's like, no, yeah. Oh, these are made for people with women
This
with
is made
normal
for someone
shoulders.
that's 19 pounds. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's just jump in.
Should we just jump in?
Yeah, let's just jump in. I'm
I I'm not gonna stop you. Like
Oh,
I
I mean,
figure,
if you don't want
yeah.
me to, we don't have to.
I don't really have a bit. I feel like I'm just shy on bits. I'm all out of bits. Like I haven't watched TV. I haven't watched a movie. Like I haven't done anything. I just been playing
Yeah.
poker and studying poker and trying to get better at poker.
I took some mushrooms and went and saw Cocaine Bear yesterday. It was good.
Okay,
Cocaine Bear is good.
I
It was
know
better with
of
mushrooms.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna see it. Like
I mean, it's Ray Liotta's last movie, and who doesn't love Ray Liotta?
like he die, or is he like that's it? I'm never
No,
doing another movie again.
Ray Liotta's dead.
But I didn't know that
Ray Liotta did Cocaine Bear, and he was like, "Fuck movies! I've done it all. I did
That's what I
Goodfellas.
like.
I did Cocaine Bear."
I'm complete. This makes me whole. I can finally now off to Shangri-La for me. It's like he finished shooting the last day of shooting, and they're like, and the director's like, and cut. Great job, everybody. That's a wrap. And he just floated into the
He's
sky.
like, going back to Hollywood to await my Lifetime Achievement Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
like,
he died.
Any minute.
He died.
I guess, yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I think I have a vague recollection. I felt like he died like 2 or 3 years ago.
No, I mean, there's like 2 or 3 years where time didn't exist because of COVID, and so
that's true. So it was before COVID.
I think it was last year that he died. I mean,
last year.
You know what? I'm sitting here.
I'm sitting here at
a computer like an idiot, and I could just go Ray Liotta.
Well, because clearly Cocaine Bear just came outside because there's a buzz about it, and then I heard
he died in May last year. May last year.
Okay, I felt like it feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Like Ray Liotta, he was great. He was great in Grand Theft Auto, like Vice City.
Oh, he's so good. So good.
It was super. It was
Tommy Vercetti. I loved it.
Tommy Vercetti, baby.
Yeah.
That's like, that was a good one. I wish they would do something than just quit rotating the 3 cities. Like we had, my friend Jabe and I had such good ideas for settings that would be a great game. And like which I thought was fantastic, was Mexico City in 1975. And like you're just like, fuck yeah. And then like mine was like Tokyo, like 2037.
San Francisco in the 60s.
San Francisco. Well, they did do London in the 60s. They did London in the 60s.
Yeah, but that was before it became as visually.
But that was before it became what it was. But it was still cool. I played the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they just I know they're making another one, but I think they're going back to Miami, and it's just like, come on, you've done Miami and New York and Los Angeles, and you just keep cycling between those 3. It's like there's so many other places in the world, in the country. You could do Chicago, like you could do Dallas, like I mean New Orleans. New Orleans would be fucking buck wild. It's like,
Great. Well, on. I mean, Mafia was set in like that New Orleans type place. So they kind of had that. Mafia 3, I think. I think they should have a Grand Theft Auto Red State, and you play a trans girl who just goes around, pulling hits on conservative politicians.
I don't know that that's what they're doing. I don't think they're going thematic, but I think the protagonist is I don't know that she's a trans woman, but I think it's definitely female. I think they might be having like multiple protagonists.
They should do multiple protagonists, and they all should be a minority of some sort, and they should.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I've talked about this before. I wish games that are trying to be inclusive, instead of saying you can create your own character in the way you are, it's like, no, make us play a black woman, make us play a trans person, and that way like cis white dudes can just be angry all the time about it. It's like
they're angry all the time anyway.
They're angry all the time anyway, so
yeah,
they're taking everything from us.
But it's just like, yeah.
Why don't you fucking understand it? Why do I have to be a fucking girl?
I was watching this Cheerios commercial, and a black guy was married to a white lady. Why are they gotta be in my face about it? It's like, sometimes people who eat Cheerios are in interracial marriages, bro. Just get over it.
I don't know. I mean, it's no use discussing these fucking idiots.
Well, the last one was International Women's Day. One of the commercials had one of the women they highlighted was a trans woman, and people lost their shit. They're just like, they're erasing women. It's like, they're not erasing women at all. Like, you're we should start. I should like have a whiteboard here that just I write down when we rant about stuff and what date it was.
Already.
And I got like 3.5 weeks ago we ranted about that. So welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, where the rants are free. I'm Lila Zarling. That's Amanda Bonanza. Ted Cruz could not be here today.
I think we need to lock up those rants. I don't want them to be free. They've enjoyed too much freedom. I think we need to do something about that. I want to take the rants away. I want to deny them their freedom. No. I want to put those rants under lock and key.
Yeah, if you hold in your rants, that's how you get cancer. It builds up internally.
I don't care.
Everyone gets married, everyone gets cancer. There's the Amanda Bonanza guarantee.
Cancer. Puke on this country. This is not great. We can't start here.
Why? I think we should start here. I think it's capturing the moment that we're currently living in. I think people want to commiserate with us. Yeah.
Yeah. For a second there, I thought I had a pun on that phrase and I could somehow relate it to Captain Crunch, but like it's not. It's just went nowhere. It's just like I am not on peak performance this morning.
Trying to
I got my Captain Crunch. No,
Captain Cruz.
It's like
Captain Cruz, Ted Cruz. He's got his own yacht now.
Captain Beefheart.
It's been another week, ladies and gentlemen, and folks who identify as
hasn't gotten better.
It has not gotten better.
Has not.
You stepped over my intro again. I said ladies and gentlemen, and then I had a thing to also include non-binary people, and now no one heard that.
No one heard.
That's okay. Welcome to all people of all genders who are listening to our podcast. All people of all genders or no genders. We're glad you're here. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Macaulay Culkin.
I had that show last night or a couple nights ago. It was okay. I think we talked about that last week. I was getting back on stage to do comedy. And I did not get the thing where I was just like, yeah, I missed this. It was just like, I guess. I think I might be done.
I don't love that. I don't
love it either. I love having fun, but
it just wasn't
fun for me.
No?
Yeah.
No, that's terrible. Yeah, I had the New Year's was like the exact opposite for me because I was like, that was the most fun I'd had since that's all time I'd played a show. I was like, this is great. I wish I could do this, but when I moved to the Netherlands, I'm gonna start playing music again over there because I think you're allowed to do it there.
Busk.
Well, just like you can make a living off of it if you're halfway decent, they'll pay you. Like here, it's like nope, only if you have like only a handful of people can do it, and like everyone else has to starve and like work shitty jobs and like can't actually do anything ever. And
only
like it's just crushed here. Any kind of art or creativity,
only if you're famous or impersonating someone who's famous can you do this.
Or if you can sell hot dogs or carpet or something, or she'll Diet Pepsi like Beyonce or whatever it is. Like, it's like if you can sell something else, if your music sells something else, then you can do it. And then they'll pay you pretty well. But they'll also like, it's like, it's just the whole thing is just wrapped up. It's just, that's fucking.
That'll be the title of my first album. It'll be please
buy country so much.
Please buy Pepsi, and like that's the title of my first album. Please buy Pepsi, and then we'll see if that sells. Because I mean,
but that's too on the nose. It's too honest. Like that's the thing is like nothing can be honest. Like they're incapable of it. Like honesty is penalized. So it's like you
So
can't say
I
buy
say,
Pepsi.
don't buy
You have to
Pepsi
say,
because I'm a rebel, and then people will buy Pepsi
oh, but
because
see,
they're
but
such.
then that might actually deter at least one person from buying Pepsi, and they can't have that either. So you can't, you have to find out somewhere in the
Oh,
world you're ambiguously selling Pepsi. Like you have to sell Pepsi like by like, it's like, it's like, and here's a great new song. I wrote this one about being on the beach and looking like Jack Johnson. And then you take a cool sip and refreshing, but you don't say it, but you hold the brand out so everyone sees it. And then also your guitar is shaped like a Pepsi bottle, and also like in the
you're
background there's just Pepsi logo everywhere.
you're telling me this like I don't know what I'm doing. For those listening, I just held up my Trumi bottle um, for a little subliminal, and then I said Trumi for some superliminal advertising. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think there's ads in our show now.
Really
I think
for
so.
other
I have
podcasts
never. Yeah,
for the Joe Rogan
so far it's
podcast.
been not for Joe Rogan. We did not advertise Joe Rogan. I
Oh,
think
thank
there was
God!
one. I don't know. I don't.
Thank
They just
God!
put him in there. Like I
Yeah,
just like yeah, and it's like we get like 1.7 cents per download. So it's like yeah, we'd be rolling in it.
nice. 1.7 cents.
Yeah, I know. Like we're looking at like all like we're not gonna make up. Like we might like a month like maybe make like oh, I don't know, like maybe like even like approaching $10.
Hey,
Like, maybe.
yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
that's $10 we didn't have last week.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and then when you if
Yeah.
you move to another country, it'll be euros or Canadian dollars or uh,
Yeah.
pounds,
I don't know
whatever.
how that any of this is gonna work. We'll have to have this discussion. It'll be a while before I go. I've got a lot to do. I've got a lot of loose ends to tie up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the USA, but like I'm definitely not sticking around for this fascism shit. Like, no fucking way.
Okay,
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
fair enough.
Yeah. I recommend all of you do the same, actually, or at least consider it. Like, think about it for real, because like it's really bad. I hate it. Cut that out, I guess.
Well, I
I don't
mean, you
know.
can. I mean, it's good. It's good advice.
Really fucking good advice.
You
This
know.
shit sucks. Like, it's bad. They want to kill us really badly. That's their whole thing. And it's not a good scene.
Well, now I feel stupid just taking like questions from people. They're just
I
like,
know I'm doing everything with this
where do you do your makeup? And it's just like, oh well, we've been spending the last week thinking about how they're going to murder us.
concentration camp in the puddle of blood that I use as a mirror. The puddle of blood and piss from my old friend that they killed.
Is that me? You know what? If they do murder me and you can use my blood to do your makeup, I think that's the most baller trans thing ever.
Yeah, pretty
know?
much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Fuck you, camp guards. We're gonna do our makeup in Lilith's blood,
Yeah, they don't care.
and with my blood. I mean, I bet you it's a nice red. Give yourself some rosy cheeks.
I'd
You
rather
really
do
do
my
gotta.
makeup with their blood.
I mean, eventually we will. Eventually I will.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. So, I might have talked about it. I've got a show in Florida later this year. And
Yeah.
for my bio,
Shit.
I'm calling someone I know down there for an LGBTQ friendly lawyer, and my bio is just going to be, if anything happens during the show, please call my lawyer.
Fuck. God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, right. It's just like
Fuck knows what's going on down there. I can't. It's like it's fucking fucked up. We're in Florida.
Tampa.
Okay. That's where I've been. That's the part of Florida. I've been to Tampa, Orlando. That's the only place in Florida I've ever been.
Yeah,
It's a long time ago. It's the 90s.
I've been to Tampa, Orlando, and I've been down to like Delray Beach, down near Miami. Nice.
I wanted to see Miami. I'm never gonna get to.
Yeah. Is that why you
I
want
would
the
have
Grand
liked.
Theft Auto to be Grand Theft Auto Miami? Because it'll be your
No,
chance
I
to
don't
see.
want it to be Miami. I want it to be somewhere new. We've already seen Miami. Ray Liotta was there. Ray Liotta showed us Miami.
He was our tour guide to beautiful Vice City.
In all its glorious polygons.
Oh, Ray Liotta, we love you. We love you so much. Um,
Last movie, huh? Cocaine Bear.
yeah, 4 stars, especially if you can take some mushrooms before you go see it.
You know how like Facebook does that dumb thing where it's like the existence of this implies the existence of blah 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 blah, and it's just like it's just like the stupidest fucking thing. They're all real stupid. But then I saw one, and you look puzzled like you've
Yeah,
never seen
I don't know
those.
what you're saying.
Like these memes that are like it's like the existence of cocaine bear implies the existence of a cocaine twink, and I was just like, okay, bud, did
Oh,
you
wow.
think for 5 seconds that there was not that a cocaine twink didn't exist? like, 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 did you think that wasn't a thing for
Yeah,
since there was cocaine? Like, I didn't like.
yeah. There were cocaine twinks before there were cocaine bears. It's really hard to maintain the size of being a bear if you're doing a lot of cocaine. You are expending a lot of energy. It's hard to stay a cocaine bear. You might start a cocaine bear, but you'll end up a cocaine twink. That's just
Yeah,
facts. That's just
just
facts.
facts, just facts.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of editing.
It's gonna be like a 12-minute episode.
Oh my goodness! I'm just waiting for the comedy to show up. Like check if
That
I
was
watch
comedy. Cocaine bear. What?
Cocaine Bear. I don't know anything about it. What
Uh,
happens and what is
so
Cocaine Bear? Is
the
it
drug
like
trafficker plane is going down, and they know like he's throwing the bags out, and they're going to land in a national forest, and the guys know like to come find it. He jumps out of the plane with his parachute, but he hits his head as he's jumping, gets knocked out, and just splats on the ground with like a thing of cocaine strapped to him. And so Ray Liotta, the mob guy, sends these two guys to go get the cocaine, and the bear got the cocaine first, and the cocaine bear is just causing havoc, just causing havoc.
so
Killed Margot
essentially it's
Martindale.
just like
Killed Margot
Hollywood was just
Martindale. It
out
was
of
great.
ideas.
This is a great idea. What do you mean? What do we need another Captain America 5 or something? Do we need
Well, I mean,
another
yeah, that was out of ideas too. But I
yeah,
mean, it's like okay, isn't there like another movie just called Plane?
plane?
I think there's a movie that's just called Plane. You just go see it. It's Plane.
And it's like
Like,
it's the sequel
I
to Snakes
think
on a
it's Vin
plane.
Diesel in it.
It's the sequel to Snakes on a Plane. It's just a flight with no snakes on it.
It's
And
just
the
a flight with
people,
no snakes, just like most flights.
yeah, right? Like most
But
flights.
something happens on the plane, I think. My parents
Uh,
saw it. My mom liked it. She's like, plane's really good.
you mentioned Vin Diesel, and it made me think of
Yeah.
something. There's a show I caught the start of called Tulsa King, and it stars Sylvester Stallone,
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I saw that
and
pop up on my thing.
he sounds like he just sounds like Vin Diesel took too many punches to the head. Like is
I don't know what Vin
he's
Diesel sounds like.
I mean, Sylvester Stallone's always had like a certain way of talking. It is way worse than ever. And then the script is written like you just were just like Sylvester Stallone, Mafia, Tulsa, and then fed that into an AI, and they just churned out the script.
I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they? Why are we paying writers
Why,
when
yeah,
we?
why on earth? Yeah, I mean, if we learned anything from the writers' strike,
Yeah, it's
it's
just
like,
like, man, here we are. Like, capitalism has finally caught up to art, and it's just like it doesn't have to be good. It just has to have someone famous agreeing to be in it, and we'll make it. And it's just like,
I
okay,
even think it's going to need that for much longer because they're going to have AI celebrities, and they're just going to be they're just going to be like fully automated. Like
oh
it's
my
just
God,
like
they're like, oh, you can't use Humphrey Bogart. It's like, don't worry, we're creating our own actors and actresses in
like
the
we're just
lab.
gonna create them from scratch. Like, and at first they're gonna have like a really stupid name, like Max Bits or something.
And of course, just the way that name is, of course, porn is going to be leading the way. The first,
how is that not?
yeah, the first realistic looking, completely digital AI
Digital
movie
penis.
is going to be Max Bits in
I didn't even make that connection.
Oh man, did you
Yeah.
see that new Max Bits movie? It was hot.
Didn't they already have? I think that was in like the new Space Jam. It wasn't porn, but maybe for some.
No, but this is
I
gonna
thought that
it's gonna look real. It's not gonna look like 3D rendered polygon. It's gonna look like it's a real person.
right.
It's gonna look good. Max Bits.
I was thinking of like, I want it to be that where it's like they're like, yeah, look how real it looks, but it just looks like early mid '90s computer
It looks
animation.
like Ray
Like
Liotta in
Lawnmower
Vice
Man,
City.
and they're just like, oh, like the face just goes out.
A lawnmower man. It's gonna look like Ray
Oh,
Liotta in Vice City, all
was
polygons
Ray
running like
Liotta
this.
Lawnmower Man?
He was in Vice City.
It should have been in Lawnmower Man. Ray Liotta, why'd you go and die? You could have done Lawnmower Man too.
I think, and I don't want to. I think Lawnmower Man 2 has already been made.
That was Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta was not in any of the Lawnmower Mans. Pierce Brosnan was in the
What's
first
that?
one, which is weird.
Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
You know, I never saw a Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie.
I saw one of them. They're
I think
really
we
bad.
talked about this too because you said he had like an invisible car.
An invisible car that he hid behind. It was like, is the car invisible or not?
I mean, it what? Doesn't make any sense.
He's like, hide behind this invisible car. I think it's one of those things where it's like invisible in that the paint they put
It's
on it
refracted.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually invisible. But
Come
that would have been
on.
better if it was. If it was just invisible and it was like the Wonder Woman movie, the Wonder Woman cartoon from the 80s, where he just gets in and he's just floating, and it's just Pierce Brosnan floating down the Autobahn.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what the world needs. More Pierce Brosnan floating down the Autobahn. He looks like so old now because he is, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that wasn't that long ago, but really the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies like 30, 40 years, 35 years ago. Like it was the
No,
90s.
it wasn't that long. It was the 90s.
The 90s.
That's
So like
25 years ago.
30 and change. Like, well, when did it start?
Oh
It was
my
the
God.
early 90s. Because like the last Timothy Dalton was Braun before Pierce Brosnan, and his last one was like 1989, I think. He only did like the two, like 87, 89, and then Pierce Brosnan took over, and they wouldn't have waited that much longer, like maybe like 3-4 years.
GoldenEye was 1995.
That's a long time. That's
Tomorrow
6 years
Never
between
Dies was
Bonds.
97. His last
so
one was
mid-90s.
2002.
So that's 28 years ago.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I think we were on like something really good there, and then we got distracted by Pierce Brosnan's James Bond.
Pierce Brosnan's floating down the Autobahn.
Yeah, I think it's back to Max Bits for us.
Ah, well, what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I lost it all. I lost
That's all
it. I lost my touch.
Max Bits.
Max
But
Bits.
yeah, in the future, like we were all like, oh man, we're gonna use robots, and robots are gonna do mundane jobs, and we're all gonna feel free to be artistic. It's like, no, we're gonna sit in the offices, we're gonna be in the factories, and AI is gonna be cranking out movies starring Max Bits.
Yeah, are we gonna get these uppity AIs living in their mansion? Like they go to like Hollywood and drinking their AI lattes.
Oh, giving us advice on how we could be successful if we weren't eating avocado toast.
First, be an AI.
First, be created in a computer.
Parents give you a loan. Parents give you a Bitcoin. Yeah. Fuck it all.
Yeah. Well, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Glorious. It's going to be a glorious future.
Every human works in the salt mines, and every night we collect in a room for our gruel and watch a completely artificially intelligence created movie starring digitally created actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky us.
That's great.
Yeah.
What a glorious future.
Thanks, James Cameron.
You can't blame him. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's his fault with his stupid Avatar bullshit.
He tried to warn us. That's what Terminator was really about.
Yeah.
He tried to warn us. Yeah.
Yeah. But then
James
with
Cameron.
Avatar, he kind of
But
became
then he
what he hated the
became the
most.
thing he despised the most.
Oh, James.
Do
Oh,
you think like any one of those guys like James Cameron or like George Lucas or even Steven Spielberg to some degree? I feel like Steven Spielberg, because Spielberg makes a couple shitty movies. Like, I mean, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull is fucking pretty stupid, and
yeah.
I feel like he's done a couple really bad ones, but for the most part he hasn't. Like, but if you like take the scope of like Spielberg's career,
Hmm.
and like, I guess he just did something relatively recently that I guess is really fucking good. I mean,
Hmm.
but like, I mean, like he pretty much does knock it out of the park most of the time.
Yeah.
And so like, but he's like that old guard guy, but like someone like George Lucas, who clearly fell from grace, and like or James Cameron, who like is a shadow of what he once was, and do you think they ever had that moment where like it's just the my God, what have I done? Like, what have I
James Cameron's up for an Oscar this year with Avatar. He hasn't fallen from
mean
grace.
anything? Doesn't mean
He's
anything.
not fallen.
Oscars don't mean anything.
I mean, if you're talking
Doesn't
about
like Dave
falling from
Chappelle get
grace,
an Oscar for being a transphobe? Like, it's like
that
he's
was
not.
an Emmy. That was an Emmy he
Oh, he got
received. Yeah.
Emmy. Oh, so is there a difference?
Yeah, he got canceled, so he can't win an Oscar. He has to win an Emmy.
Yeah, I got that. Well, they're going to give him an Oscar for getting canceled.
All right. Hey, let's just go to our first question.
Let's do that. I
Instead
think
of
we've had
talking about
enough
that thing
bad
you just
bits,
cut out.
but like minimum bits, min
Oh.
bits,
Well, now you can't
maybe
cut out
Max
Max
Bit's wife,
bits. Yeah.
min
Oh,
bits.
wait. I thought Max bits was short for Maxine bits. What are you talking about?
Well, I was thinking
Whoa.
more like maximum
Yeah, maximum.
for Maxwell House.
Maximum bits.
That was like Maxwell House bits. That product.
First question. Let's go. Well, we're not going to wait for Ted. We're just going to run without him. Hey, and I think we both have the same answer to this, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe.
Maybe.
Have never had the desire for kids and can't afford to preserve sperm. Anyone else skip this step? I really just want to start HRT and not worry about it. I've never wanted kids and enjoy the kids in my family from afar at best. Anyone else do this?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm
I didn't do that.
kids.
I
I'm good.
didn't.
Okay.
I didn't think that. I mean, I
It's like kidding me. Look at the
yeah.
fucking world.
I mean, I do have a trans friend who was married and transitioned and and they just had a baby, and it did kind of hit me in the feels, but that's like a lot of regret. That's not like this. That's like
Yeah.
my whole lifetime. I was just like, man, I wish I would have had that when I was younger, but it is what it is, and yeah, I think that because I don't think anyone started HRT without that getting brought up, and I think it's the world's obsession with procreating because the Bible tells us we need to procreate. But yeah, you should do what you want, and if let's say down the road you start your transition and there are plenty of kids who you can mentor, you can adopt if you're in the right state. But yeah, I don't think it's mandatory, and I think you should do what feels best for you. And I don't think there's any. I think people who don't want kids should be more vocal about it. I think people who don't want kids kind of keep it to themselves because they don't want to have those arguments with their family or their friends who have kids.
I mean, maybe. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just ambivalent. I'm just kind of indifferent about it. Like, and I'm more about like it's like another life maybe, but like it's like I already know that I can't have
Right.
kids. Like and like I couldn't have afforded a kid anyway. I live in the United States and I'm not a fucking millionaire. So it's like it costs $10,000 to $20,000 to have a baby, and then they give you less time off than if you're a fucking dog. So it's I don't know, that took a turn.
And you have to pay to store your sperm.
Yeah,
You've
I
got
mean,
to
I don't
pay to do
like
that.
it's
It's
just like
just
I suppose I don't know anything about that. So it's just like,
it's like trans people are trying to come up
never.
with workarounds, and they're trying to suck us back into capitalism. It's like, well, you do want to save your sperm, and it's just like I don't really care. It's like, no, pay us a monthly fee, and we'll freeze it and we'll store it. Um,
What? I can't do it myself.
yeah,
Keep it
right.
in a coffee can in
I
my
got a fucking
freezer. Yeah,
freezer. What are you talking about? I got a turkey baster with frozen semen in it.
exactly. That's all you need.
That's all you need. And then if you're going to get pregnant that way, it's more expensive because you have to do in vitro fertilization which is its own mess of costs and things like that. And then you're right. Like once you have the kid, you live in a country where, unless you're a cajillionaire, good luck raising a kid. And of course, like right now,
People that have kids, but like,
even if I did have frozen sperm
fucking
right now, it's
nuts.
not like I'm like going to bring a kid into this mess.
Right,
Be like, oh,
exactly.
2023, let's do this.
Yeah. But
Let's
people
do it.
do. I mean, I know people with kids. A lot of my friends have kids, and I don't know
Yeah.
how they fucking do it. Like, but most of them have jobs that pay them money and like careers and stuff.
Yeah.
Very few do I know that are poor like I am. Like, and definitely, and I know trans people with kids too, but usually they had the kids before they came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Usually that's what I know about it. And that's, that causes a whole host of different problems. It's like, and like, and I'm not seeing like, I mean, I don't know. It's like for me, I'm just ambivalent to the whole thing because like in no way is that in the cards for me. Like any way you slice it, there's no there's no possible future where I'm raising kids. So it's like that's just not a thing. So and it hasn't been in the cards for me, but like for a long time, and it never really was. I never wanted kids pre-transition, and like
Mhm.
once I did transition, I was like, I got some
Yeah.
mommy
Yeah. Yeah.
thing, sure, and like and it's like, but like it's just I just don't get to, like that's
Yeah.
just like I just chalked it up to that. It's like that's just one of the things I don't get to do.
It's
Much
not
like
in the
I'll never
cards
be
for me. Yeah.
president, or like I'm never gonna run a fucking company. It's like whatever it is. Like I'm never gonna go to space. Like it's like I'm not gonna do that either. Like it's like there's not everyone gets to do everything, and for me, I'm not gonna have kids, but I did get to like be the gender I want, feel happy about
Oh
being.
man.
And
Yeah. Right.
that's a pretty big fucking deal because that's really the only thing that I ever wanted. And so, like,
And
I
something
got
I
to
never
do
thought would
that.
be able to happen. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I never thought it could happen, but I mean, I was just like, I entertained it my whole life, but it was just like I was, that's all bags of fear. You have your fears and your apprehensions, and it's like, but I did, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. It's like, it's a mixed bag because it comes with, this whole genocide thing. So it's like, that's not great, but that's not that. Like, that's just like, like that's its own whole shit.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, do what you feel in the moment. And if that changes, like I said, you'll be able to adopt. There'll be uh, people you can mentor. I've done a lot of work with kids in the past, working with them as a mentor and as a teaching them and working with them at camps and stuff. So I felt like I was able to fulfill those kind of child raising and mom things without all the hassle of having a kid with you all the time. Like it's great when you
Yeah,
just pop in for like an hour or two and be like, hey, let's be awesome and I'll teach you how to be awesome. And now I'm going to go home and someone else is going to make you do your homework or argue with you about going out on Friday night or whatever the fuck parents and kids argue about.
Yeah, I
I
don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know, and I never will, is like kind of where I'm at with it. It's just like I'm never gonna know. I'm never gonna have kids. Like it's just not gonna be a thing. Like I've been in situations where like I've lived in a place where like someone I lived with has a kid and they're in the house or they're in the
Yeah.
apartment, but like that was different too. 'Cause it's like I wasn't trying to encroach on that. Like it was like it's like and that was even weird too, because I was like an adult figure that's like aloof and like not an authority figure, like because I
Yeah.
refused to be one. Like, and it was just one of those things where it's like, but ultimately, just because I was an adult, it fell on me anyway, because
Yeah.
you have to do that, like with kids, and it's just like, okay, so this is weird. And then but like at the same time, it's just like, and then I just got out of those situations too, because
Yeah.
it's like, well, this is not really like what I really wanted to do. And like, but like, I mean, I don't know. Like I've lost I've lost the narrative here. It's like I'm not sure what the question's like even asking anymore. Like,
just want to make
like
sure, like, I don't want to do this. Has anyone else made this choice? And it's like, yeah, I made that
oh
choice, and
yeah,
it wasn't difficult for me. And it's just, I think the main thing that I want to make sure is like, you're gonna get pushback, and like the people are obsessed with people having babies, and I don't know if it's like misery loves company or however it works. So it's like, if you don't want to have kids and you want to start your transition, don't worry about it. And if you down the line do want to have kids, you'll have opportunities to adopt someone, or to like I said, to mentor or do something like that. So I'd say don't worry about it. I very rarely that I think people who never want to have kids suddenly do want to have kids. You
I
know,
don't think it's a sudden thing. Like I think it creeps
right?
up. Like, cause like I said, it's like for me, it was like it was one of those things where it's like after like I started HRT, maybe like a year or two, I started
Yeah,
feeling it. Like, oh, I wish I would that would be nice. There were just little things like where you
yeah,
because I never used to care. Like I was just like,
yeah.
yeah. And like it was just like I see a kid and it just did nothing for me, but not, like nothing did anything for me. Like, that's the thing. It's not
Yeah.
trying to be intense. Like, and so like, but then I transitioned and I could feel, and then all of a sudden, like I see a kid and I was like, or like, and I
Oh,
get that sort of thing where it's like, it's like,
yeah,
and like, but now, like, but even now, it's just like, but like, yeah, for the question asker though, it's like, because it's now I understand a little better. It's like,
yeah,
is it fine? Is it okay to not want kids? Fuck yeah, it's okay. It's probably smart right now. Like, to be honest with you, it's like, because like, I mean, all the hardships that are coming with it and the way things are going, at least in the States, like, or, and in the world in general, it's like being a trans person like is hard enough to navigate the world and the
yeah,
landscape without the burden of being a parent and having that responsibility of both like bringing them up and taking care of them, but also like all the financial responsibility that comes
yeah,
with it and being tied down like where you can't. It's a lot harder to like, so like, oh, like, we mentioned like, about like, like fleeing the country, which is like kind of the thing that we should all be considering, at least, at this point, like start making escape plans. Like, and it's one of those things where it's like, well, that's going to be a lot. When I've talked to people about it, like, hey, what are you going to do about this? Like, hey, like do you have a plan? Like a lot of them, like, I've got kids, I can't do it. It's like, I mean, that's the thing, is like they're gonna take your kids.
mhm,
Like you're not gonna get to keep your kids. Like, understand that. Like, and it's like this is getting to the point like where it's like they already fucking think like, they think we're Satan. Like they think we're from hell, we're the devil. Like, and so they're not gonna let us keep kids. Like they just like they didn't let us keep kids in Nazi Germany back when this happened back then. Like it's not any different. Like you don't get to, when you're targeted for genocide by the government, you don't get to
mhm.
keep anything. Like you're not going to get to keep the fillings in your teeth. They will take those too. It's so like this, I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's like
You just keep
it's
going though.
yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. If you don't feel it, don't do it. And that, I think that comes with a lot of stuff. It's just like, someone's going to tell you everything. There's always going to be someone who's got advice, and it's just advice. If someone says you should do it and you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. You know, it's not mandatory. A lot of us don't do it. It's an expense, and it's, obviously problems down the road about even following through with it. So don't worry about it. If you're going to start HRT, go for it. Be strong, be safe, and yeah, you're under no obligation to save any sperm and pay someone to keep it in a deep freeze for you,
You don't
for a
even
monthly fee.
care. It's like,
Yeah, who cares?
and maybe you'll regret it someday, but maybe not. Like,
But
I mean,
honestly,
that's
you
the
could.
thing, is like, it's like, I mean, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing, and yeah, it is a big deal and it is life changing. But like, it's like, are you gonna like, oh, I gotta like, I gotta save all my shoes, or like, it's like, what if I don't, like, it's like, well, like, oh, like there's a million things that like I was like, oh, so I'm gonna embark on this thing, so I better like just in case I should lock and storage this thing away. It's like That's not how life works. It's like people do that all the time. They think they're gonna save things. It's like, well, they can't get rid of things. Like they save things and they're like, I'm gonna use this later. I'm gonna just store this and I'll store this in the thing and I'll use this like tables or plastic bags in the drawer. It's like you're never gonna use those plastic bags from the grocery store. It's like that adapter that you got from your iPhone to in 2006, like you're never going to use that cable again. Like it's just like
Doesn't fit anything.
you're not going to need that power supply from your answering machine in 2002. Like it's like that's not going to be a thing that you're ever going to use again. So it's like well, I won't be able to have kids. It's like, well, you won't be able to have that answering machine either. It's
I
like,
love the idea of like having a kitchen junk drawer with like dead batteries and tape that's all wrapped around itself, and then two vials of sperm. It's like, I could just throw all this stuff out.
Yeah. Turkey basers. Throw it in the freezer with the battery.
I mean, if you could just keep it in a junk drawer, then yeah, keep all the sperm.
Batteries that are just in case I want to dig that old boom box back out.
No, you can't. They're dead, but you can't throw them out because it's bad for the environment to throw batteries out. So you store them in your junk drawer.
It's way better for the environment when you keep them in your freezer. Like they got to go somewhere. It might as well be the ocean.
I think somewhere in there we helped you. I think somewhere in all of that, you got an answer.
The electric eels charged.
Yeah. Sending it down to the Titanic so any survivors can, use batteries for flashlights and find their way out.
So he gets so SpongeBob SquarePants can rock the fuck out.
All right. Next question, which is there are no question marks in this post, but I think we see it.
We can't use it then.
Yeah, it's a question.
What's that question?
Because it also says I need help. So, there's saying I keep second guessing and need help. Hi, so I'm turning 19 in a month, and I've known I was some sort of trans since I was 15 or 16. I'm female to male, but don't really know if that label fits me. I do live in an unsupportive environment, and I get gendered correctly maybe 2 times a day. I'm in therapy and see a gender specialist regularly, but I would still like to ask this here. How can I tell if all of my questioning and need for proof and validation is me trying to find reasons for being trans or me trying to prove I'm not trans? I've done some reading on trans OCD and it freaked me out because I can't what the goal of my thoughts is. I must have missed a word there. I can't think of what the goal of my thoughts is. I want a male body. I want and wish I was born a male. And I do plan on getting T and surgery of a few kinds. I don't feel like a gender, however, and most of the time just want to exist as void. But the constant obsessing over my gender and the questioning is exhausting. So if anyone has any advice, please help.
Yeah, chill the fuck out. It's cool, just be you. Like, I know I don't mean that. Like, I mean that sounds shitty, but like it's like that. I think a lot of baby trans and eggs. I think a lot of people, like, they have this idea that you have to be one or the other. Like it's like I was born like I'm AFAB, but like it's like you said yourself, it's like you want to get T, you want to get the surgeries. It's like what else do you need? You want it. That's it. Done. And end of story. Like that. I don't know what qualifications. Like there was another thing. Like that's the thing is I think like a lot of people that are trans, like because there's so much baggage that comes with it and such a heavy thing, and there's so much negative reinforcement that comes from society, that trans people like there's a thing called internalized transphobia where it's like you don't want to be trans. Like it's like and like I think a lot of trans people in the early age, like pre-IHRT, just coming out, just figuring things out, like they think like, well, I don't qualify. Like it's like I'm like, because you hear the stories and people tell you like, oh, well, my transition was like this and I knew at this age and I did it like this, but like the narrative, like yours is close to that, but it's not exactly the same, and you don't hit like the bullet points, you don't hit the markers because like your experience is a little different. Now, one of the things that happens with starting HRT and coming out is like you realize that actually you do hit all those bullet points, you just aren't aware of it yet. But like even if you don't, it doesn't matter, because like if you're already convinced that you want a male body and you want to go on hormones and you want surgery, like, I don't know what else you think makes you trans, but that's pretty much all it is. Like, it's like you not wanting to be the gender you were assigned at birth. That's all that trans is. Like, any more than that is like, I mean, it's not like it's a simple thing, but like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. And like, do you want to, like, there is the whole non-binary spectrum, and like, you can go on T and you can get like your top surgery, and like, you can present male and look male, but not be totally committed to like, I'm a man. You don't have to. Like, there's plenty of non-binary male presenting, like, masculine non-binary people out in the world, and like it and none of that kind of makes any difference. The only thing that really makes any difference is, are you happy?
Yeah. I
Like,
think, yeah. Oh, I think a lot of
no,
it
that's
comes
it.
from, I think a lot of it comes from, we're living in an age where we're meant to doubt ourselves, and like, who you are, and you're just on a journey to find that. And sure, every time you turn around, there's these detransitioners who are on, uh, conservative news and conservative radio, and they're always showing up at legislators to like talk about their detransition and all this stuff. There's only like 5 of those. If you paid attention, there are 5. It's like 5 people who've detransitioned and who have made it their industry to go around and get paid to give interviews and to visit legislatures and stuff. And there's a reason they don't have another side of the story. There's a reason, like, they have those people on, but they don't have any of the cajillions of trans people who are transitioned and happy, and they don't want that to get out. And some people do make mistakes, and you're in that space where you're like, well, I don't want to make mistakes like this person. I don't want to be in 5 years, on Tucker Carlson talking about how you got lied to by the trans industrial complex. But you know who you are. You've been thinking about it. You also can move at your own pace. You can also start transitioning without taking medication. You can go as fast and slow as you want, and you can find your comfort level. And that's really what's important. And the problem isn't that there's anything wrong with you. The problem is we're getting impulses all the time that there's something wrong with being trans, when in fact there nothing is. And yeah, I mean, anyone can have a show where they just have someone on and make that seem like it's a viewpoint. We don't have Ted Cruz on here because we don't want his viewpoint. And Tucker Carlson doesn't want my viewpoint, which is why he has, they have these detransitioners on who are anti-trans, and quite frankly, I don't even know if they've ever transitioned, because I've never met any of them, and I don't know their story. They're just presented as something. So sometimes things are presented. You have to look a little beyond that and realize that
Milo Yiannopoulos is of the world.
Yeah, these guys, yeah. Yiannopoulos. So yeah, like, I would say follow your goals, make the small steps you want to. If you're worried about making a leap and things like that, you should keep questioning. You should always be growing. You should always be pushing yourself to change and grow. And I don't think questioning yourself is bad or exhausting, but you do at some point have to trust yourself. And there's a difference between like questioning your direction, do you need to make change in life, and then there's self-doubt. And you have no reason to have self-doubt, and just play at the speed you want. And you don't have to start T immediately. If you never start T, it doesn't mean you're trans. You can be non-binary. You don't have to. You just identify as the way you want and be comfortable with who you are. And that's the important thing. Yeah.
And and that's the thing. But even with that, it sounded like you've already got a plan. Like you're like, oh, I'm definitely doing this and I'm definitely doing that. And so it's like, well, yeah, then that's all there is to it. And all the rest of the stuff is just noise. And you can just tune that right out because you don't need it. And it's just like, well, like, what about all the questioning steps? Like, questioning what? Like gender is completely made up. It's just like it's invented. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a biological thing with it, like, and that's for sure, like, because that has to do with procreation. But even that, it's like, well, it's not like there's any shortage of like cis people that cis het people that procreate. Like, it's like, and even if there were, like, there's still ways to do it.
I mean, like, last question. You just save your own junk and
exactly.
freezer. Yeah,
Max spits that shit.
I mean, I think the important thing is you tell me I want a male body and I wish I was born a man. Like that's that. And if you say later on you don't feel like a gender, that's also both those things can be true. You know,
Exactly.
you want
Exactly.
to get on testosterone, you want to be more comfortable in your body, but then once you're comfortable in your body, you label that body however you want. It doesn't have to be male. It doesn't have
Exactly.
to be female. Um, it can
And
be, you know, wherever it is for you.
and the thing is like you already know it because like that's the thing. It's like part of the thing about being trans is like you have that like what happens is, and this is the case for me. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but it's been pretty uniform from everyone I've ever talked to, or but like there's a you have that just internal pull to do it. It's like an obsession. It's a compulsion that like it's like I just want to be this other thing, like and it's just like, and you think about it, and it doesn't, you never really escapes your consciousness. It's just like because that's what you already are. Like it's the reason, that's the reason that is you're already there. Like because then like and so like you just got the wrong, your body fucked up and it made the wrong hormones when you were at a certain period in gestation. And it's like it's an endocrine disorder. It's like this, your body makes the wrong shit. And so like and the consequences of that is like is you feel like garbage, but you know what you want. And like and it sounds like you're already there. Like you know that you want teeth, you know that you want to do it, so do it. Like yeah, do it,
Yeah.
be it, live it.
Man, I'm sensing a common theme here. It's just like
Yeah.
identify what you want and go for those things you want. And don't let anyone else, like I said, you can always take advice, you can always listen to advice, you don't have to follow advice. You don't have to follow our advice, but I would say it sounds like, it really does sound like the way you phrase all that is that you know what you want.
I
And
really did. Like
you're
I
worried
didn't
about
hear
making a
any doubt
mistake.
in that.
Yeah. And you think like, what if I'm wrong? And yeah, there's no right or wrong. You're just going to do what you do, and you're going to deal with what happens next. And if you're
Yep,
wrong, you can stop taking tea. You don't have to take tea and then the next day have your
exactly.
breast removed either. You can take tea and see how you feel after a few years and make sure it's right. You know, I think there's this idea out there, thanks to conservative media, that all of this happens instantaneously to everyone. As like, I really would love to live in the world where I go to my doctor and my doctor forces gender confirmation surgery on me and my insurance somehow just pays for it and all those things. And that's not how any of this works. It is time. And like I
Oh, you
said,
can't even get it when you really fucking want it.
yeah, like,
It gets really hard. And it's
yeah.
like, it's definitely not given to children against their will. That's definitely not a thing. Like,
That goes back to my thing. It was like whenever tell you someone says that, like why would doctors be doing this? Like they're like, oh, doctors are convincing. Why would doctors be what does a doctor have to gain by doing that? All these arguments
the
just fall
same
apart.
people that think like cell towers are like invented by China to
Whoa, that is
like
true.
put bugs
Stop
in
it.
our brain. And like it's like these people are like just, they're just fucking dumb as fuck. They're just really stupid people. And we're in dark ages. We've entered into a dark age now, and so we're there, and it's replete with plague and ignorance and
I really got to keep
religious
my eye on you
fervor.
today. you just
I'm not
you're just
having
taking those
fun.
you're just taking those right turns every time I look the other way. Uh,
Yeah, I live here now.
yeah, it's like, hey, follow your dreams, take advice, listen to advice, get the best input, but really listen to your heart and follow what you want to do. And if it feels like it's going too fast, slow it down. If it feels like it's not moving fast enough, talk to the people who can make it happen. But don't hold back because you're afraid of what's going to happen next. Because if we were all afraid of what would happen next, we'd never do anything because what's
Right.
next is unknown. And if I was afraid of the unknown, how could I move forward? Man, that was wise as shit. That's a good.
It was.
That's a
That's
good.
some
Yeah,
mountaintop shit. Back to
yeah.
Shangri-La.
So good luck with that, and yeah, follow your heart and take it at your pace. And if you want to try, you know, before you start T, before you consider having surgery, just being a non-binary dude and talking to your close friends and people you trust about making that happy. And I know you did one thing we haven't really done is you're in an unsupportive environment.
Yeah,
But
that sucks.
but
That's
you're
adding
19.
nuts.
You're 19, so you can look at changing your environment as well.
Absolutely. But I mean, I'll tell you this, like, because we should address that, because
Yeah,
like I'll bet you that's the source and the root of all of these apprehensions that you have. Like they're all coming from the fact that you're not in a supportive environment. Like,
yeah,
because that's what happens. Because like when the people around you aren't supportive and they say all these bad things because out of ignorance and fear, like that's what they do, is it sows doubt in your mind. And like the other thing is like once you're in that environment, you're surrounded by these people, unsupportive, like and quite frankly, shitty people. It's like it makes you, what that does is it blots out all the good things too, and you don't you it gets hard to see through that.
hmm,
And so if you're spending all your time being around people that are telling you how bad it is, how scary it is, how dangerous it is, of course you're going to be riddled with self-doubt. Like
yeah,
that's what happens. Like we are social creatures and we feed off energy and vibrations, and like if you're around, if you're surrounded by bad energy, you're gonna feel bad. Like that's
yeah,
just how it is. And like if you know in your heart that you're right, and you do, like then honestly one of the best things you could do for yourself is get out of that
yeah,
unsupportive environment. It's like that's pretty key. Like and because it sounds like you, like I mean like you just, even in your question, like it just was just stated so matter of factly, like it was like a declarative statement. It's like I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It's like that wasn't a question. That's not someone that's unsure of what they want. That's not someone that, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like a driven motherfucking dude.
it's not going to be stopped. And that's the thing is
Yeah.
like when you talk about like unsupportive environments, that's not just with being trans. If you lived in an environment where you were going to do something and no one supported what you said you were going to do and cast doubt on the direction of your life, and it doesn't matter if you're transitioning or just, for me it was like when I was going to college, like my parents constantly planted seeds of doubt. I ended up going to a more expensive college and wasn't really, I probably shouldn't have gone to college to begin with, but that's the environment I was in, that's the pressure I was under. And I made a wrong decision because I wasn't following what I thought I should be doing. And yeah, that's anything in your life. If people aren't supporting your decisions, you're going to be all kinds of self doubt because that's the only input you're getting. So glad we can
Yeah.
give you some different input. And yeah, I know and I said like you're 19, you can change your environment. I know it's easier said than done, but
Always.
with all things, it's about start looking into that. How can you do that? What do you have to do
Yeah.
to make that happen? Um, and best of luck, and you're going to be amazing.
Well, I mean,
So
and it
there,
does start with finding supportive people.
yeah,
And that might be a hard thing depending on where you are. That might be something that's not readily available. And
yeah,
like in that's a shame for a lot of people, but like it is out there. And the thing that like we have going for us now that we didn't have when Lilith and I were your age is the internet. Like,
yeah.
and the internet is full of supportive communities that will help you actualize your dudeness. Like,
Dude,
like yeah,
I like
it
that.
will actually there it is out there and it's accessible. Where like for like Lilith and I growing up, that wasn't a thing.
Oh
Like
God, no.
it's like it was so isolating. Like and so like there's like and talk yeah, I mean like yeah, I have supportive parents, but like in the 80s and 90s there was no such thing as any supportive environment for trans people. You just it wasn't there.
Yeah,
Like, you know, and it was just like it was a very isolating, very unsupportive place. And henceforth we stayed
yeah,
in the closet as long as we
yeah.
did, you know, and it's like, and that's the thing is like, but like yeah, it just it sounds like you got it figured out. The thing that you don't have, it sounds like you just need to kind of like
Figure out how
kind of
to
brush off,
implement everything and brush
get
off
the old lint brush out, you know,
get
like
rid of
kind
the
of wipe off.
haters.
Yeah, kind of trim that fat there. It's like you're carrying around a lot of dead weight
A lot of dead
with
weight.
with relationship dead weight, if you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying.
Maybe get rid of some of that. Maybe I'll leave the trash by the trash bin and just go to
Oh,
somewhere where there ain't so much trash.
yeah. Oh,
You know, get
yeah,
out of there.
yeah. You're gonna be great. You just
That's
follow
the
your heart.
thing.
Just follow your dream.
It's never been a better time to leave here.
wherever here is.
Well, especially here being the United States,
No,
it's a
but
great time.
if there's certain parts of here that you're in, it's better to be in other parts of here than in certain parts of here.
That's for sure
You
too.
know?
That's for
Yeah.
sure too. But like that's the thing is like, 19 years old, it's a great time to just fucking hit the fucking road and go where the fuck ever.
Yeah.
Like that's a perfect time to do that because you will land on your feet because you're 19 and you're good looking. And that's what's gonna happen. Like, that's how it works. Like,
Is that how it works?
that's how it works. You just do it.
I was thinking the good looking part. Like you just start your hormone treatment and suddenly you're good looking.
Just
Ah.
I just like default to that everyone that's 19 is good looking. Like that's peak good looking. Like it really is. Like it's just like
Oh, well, I mean, like that, like I said, that's the theme of our show. Identify what you want and go for it. And you can get counsel from other people, but you don't have to take their advice unless it really speaks to you, like do the things that's in alignment with what you want and make it happen. And um, no matter what decision you make, there's a possibility for regrets either way. Like the person, like you could pay for 10 years of saving your sperm monthly, and then 10 years from now be like, man, I wish I could have had that monthly payment that I made.
I know, like
Yeah, so
like,
there's regrets either way, and you can't make your decisions based on how you might regret them. You have to make them on how they are in line with who you are and what you want, and go from there. And then, like I said, whatever happens next, you'll deal with it then. You've survived this long. Fuck, if I can make it to 52, y'all can too. I mean, I don't know shit.
yeah, for reals, though.
Yeah, for reals, I don't know shit. Thanks for listening to my advice podcast.
That's the ultimate wisdom is
That's
the
the
wisdom
ultimate
to know
wisdom.
that you don't know.
I don't know, but you know, and my wisdom comes from the fact that I'm telling you to know
Live
what
from
you
Shangri-La.
know.
I'll take
Y'all are beautiful. Everyone who listens.
and hang out with us.
Everyone who listens to this podcast is amazing and beautiful, and we love you and thank you for listening. And thank you for the 1.7 cents we made by you downloading this episode.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
yeah,
I
we're gonna be
appreciate
rolling.
that.
We're gonna just roll around naked in all the money that we're making.
That
At
1.7
at
cents.
1.7 cents. It's cold though. It sticks to parts of your body. Yeah. Ugh. The 0.7 cents especially. Yeah, the 0.7 gets lost real easy. Y'all are amazing. This has been Girl Dick with Ted Cruz. I'm Liz Arling. That's Amanda Bonanza. You should email us if you have comments, complaints, or questions, girldickwithted@gmail.com. And we'd be happy to listen to your complaints, whether it's a 1-star review because you don't like us or a 5-star review because you do like us. If you have a question, email us. We'd love to develop those relationships. Tell your trans friends about them, about the shows, about the podcast, and we would love to just connect. But y'all are beautiful, and you're
True, we would
amazing.
love that.
Yeah, you're amazing people.
I would also like to come do our podcast in your town.
Oh my gosh, we're
At
just
your
jumping right to that
venue.
at your venue.
We never talk about it. Like it
Well, I mean, I don't know if we're at the point now where we'd have like an audience like to like go to a
but
venue.
that's your job.
My job or the listener's job?
No, the listener job.
Yeah, the listener is like,
You,
tell all
your
your friends.
job out there. You person. You.
Yeah, call your local small venue and tell them you're going to bring 50 to 100 trans girls to come listen to this trans advice podcast. We'll have fun. We'll, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have a blast. I mean, I know I'm a performer. I know my one person show, me on stage, is a blast. I can't imagine that.
Will it be a Baja Blast?
It'll be a Baja Blast. Adding Amanda to the mix will make it even more fun. Heck, maybe we'll make it a full night.
Crunchwrap supremely good show.
Yeah, maybe we'll do 2 shows. We'll do the podcast, then we'll do a comedy music show afterwards, and just make it a whole thing. I'd love that. So bring us to your town
with our music.
Yeah, bring it to your town. First person who reaches out and says they got a venue in their town, we'll we'll take you out for Taco Bell.
We will. We'll come
The
there. We'll take
the
a
contraps are on us. I mean, we're floating in money now.
We're floating in 1.7 cents. That'll get you.
Yeah,
That'll buy a lot of crunch
a
wraps.
lot of Baja Blast.
Sure will.
Y'all are amazing. Goodbye. We love you.